So today we will see Newton's forward interpolation method. So let the function y is equal to f of x, and that takes the values y naught, y1, y2 up to yn, and corresponding to the values x naught, x1, x2 up to xn of x. So in this case also there are n plus 1 number of data points, and these values of x are q-space, that is has equal interval such that xi equal x naught plus ih, where I takes the value from 0, 1, 2 and so on. So here you can see the x1 can also be expressed as x naught plus h. Similarly, you can write x2 equal to x naught plus 2h and so on. As there are n plus 1 data points, therefore y of x, or it can also be write as f of x, is a polynomial of nth degree. So always remember that if there are n plus 1 data points, then nth degree polynomial will be there for given data sets in x, such that y of x naught is equal to y naught, y of x1 is equal to y1, and so on up to y of xn is equal to yn. Then the Newton's forward interpolation formula that contains y naught, and the forward differences of y naught is given as yp is equal to y of x naught plus ph, which is equal to y naught plus p, the forward operator called as del y naught plus p into p minus 1 upon 2 factorial del square y naught plus p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 upon 3 factorial into del cube y naught plus up to p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 up to p minus n minus 1 upon n factorial into del raised to n into y naught. So this is the polynomial of nth degree, and from memorizing point of view, this formula is much easy to memorize. We start with y naught, and the last term is del raised to n y naught. Here y of x is equal to y of x naught plus ph, where p takes the value starting from 0, 1, 2 up to n, and h is the interval which is constant in this case. So the difference between the two successive value in the given data set will be constant. And as I told you yesterday that when the interval is constant, then you need to use Newton's forward or backward interpolation for given data set. And if the interval is not constant, in that case, you need to go for Lagrange's interpolation method. Now you need to note two important things here. First, this formula is used for interpolating the values of y near the beginning of a set of tabulated values and extrapolating values of y a little backward of y naught. It means that when you are asked to find out value of y for a given value of x, and if this value x, which is very close to the initial values, that is close to x naught, x1, x2, so if such type of numerical will be asked, you need to use Newton's forward interpolation method. Or same formula can be used for extrapolating as well, but again in that case the value of x and y should be close to x naught, just before x naught. Second important thing is the first two terms in this formula. Okay, I will use highlighter. Okay, so first two terms in this formula gives a linear interpolation. So first two term, so yp is equal to y naught plus p del y naught. So this will be your linear interpolation. This equation is just like y is equal to m plus an x, or y is equal to a plus bx. You can write it in one way. While the first three terms gives a parabolic interpolation. So these are the first two terms. Yp is equal to y naught plus p del y naught plus p into p minus 1 upon 2 factorial del square y naught. So this will be your parabolic interpolation, and as you go on increasing the number of terms, then you will get corresponding polynomial. Then we will try to understand the Newton, how to use Newton's forward interpolation with example. So we'll start with example number one. The table gives the distance in nautical miles of the visible horizon for the given heights in feet above the Earth's surface. So in this case, in the table you can see the height is denoted by x. So this will be your x naught, x1 will be 150, this will be x2, x3, x4, x5 and x6. So there are total 7 data points, and the distance is denoted by y. So for x naught equal to 100, your y naught will be 10.63. Similarly, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5 and y6, these values you can see, and you are asked to find out the value of y when x is equal to 160 feet. So here you can see that the 160 feet is very close to the initial values. So it is very close to 150. So you can easily guess that even though in this problem it is not mentioned you need to use Newton's forward interpolation, but from the value of x you can easily guess that you need to use Newton's forward interpolation method. Again, second hint is that if you take the difference between the two successive value, 150 minus 100, the answer is 50. 200 minus 50, again answer is same. So there are constant intervals. So again, from this analysis we can say that we cannot go with Lagrange's interpolation. So from these two understanding, you can say that for the given problem, you need to use Newton's forward interpolation. So how to start? So just like previous problem, we can say that first of all, write down the given data point. X naught 100, x1 150 and so on. Similarly, y naught 10.63, y1 13.03 and so on. Then you need to prepare a difference table, and the values from that table will be used to find out the value of y when x is equal to 160. So this is the table you can see, and we will try to understand how to prepare this table. So first of all, in first column you need to put the values of x, that is height. So 100, 150, 200 and so on we wrote in column number 1. Then the value of distance, that is y, you need to put in second column. So y naught, y1, y2 and so on you can see. Again, what I did or what you need to do while writing two values, you need to keep one blank row. So you can see everywhere or between two successive value there is a blank row that you need to make sure you are writing in that fashion. Otherwise, what will happen during calculations or preparing remaining columns, you may do some calculation errors. So make sure that you are putting an empty row between two successive values of x and y. Then after preparing first column and second column, we will try to find out the del operator, that is del y naught, del square y naught, del cube y naught, and del raised to 4 y naught. So we'll start with del y naught. So you need to take the difference between the two successive values. So 13.03 minus 10.63, you will get del y naught. So this is the first value. Similarly, to calculate the next value, take the difference between next two success value, that is 15.04 minus 13.03, you will get 2.01. So similarly, take the difference between the two successive values in order to get the remaining values. And if you have a calculator, you can just make sure that all the calculated values are correct. Okay, so in this way, you can prepare your third column. Then how to prepare next column, that is del square y naught. So again, you need to use the same strategy, that is taking the difference between the two successive values. Here, if you take the difference 2.01 minus 2.4, you will get minus 0.09. So this will be your first value for del square y naught. Similarly, take the difference of 1.77 and 2.01, you will get next del square y naught value. And similarly continue this process to get all the values of del square y naught. So the formula is very simple. Whenever you want to find out the del value, just take the difference between the two successive values given in the previous column. Similarly, del cube y naught you can find out by taking the difference. So here you can see minus 0.13 minus minus 0.16, you will get 0.03. So continue this process to get all the corresponding values of del square, del cube, del raised to 4, and so on. Now you may ask a question in this particular table that, sir, we can go for del raised to 5 why not and del raised to 6 why not, because we can easily take the difference, right? Minus 0.05 and minus 0.07, so you can also get the higher term. So you can do it and prepare the next column. So for this table I went up to del raised to 4 why not, but you can also go with del raised to 5 why not and del raised to 6 why not. And while solving or while doing the calculation, we will also come to know that when we go for the higher terms, that is del raised to 5 and del raised to 6 in this case, how the resultant value gets changed or how it is affected the our end result. So in brief, I will tell you while preparing the third, fourth, fifth, and onwards column, everywhere you need to take the difference between the two successive values and your columns will be ready. Again, while doing calculations, you also need to know the interval. So here the interval is constant, that is difference between two successive value of x is constant, and 150 minus 100 you will get 50. So the value of h will be 50. Again you can cross verify, take the difference between 300 and 250, again you will get the same answer. So the value of h will not be given in the numerical and you need to find out, and here in this case it is 50. Okay, so again, one important thing I would like to highlight here, that as we are interested in y when x is 160. So this 160 is very close to 150. So that's why I highlighted this particular value, and again it is in bold. And while selecting the values, you need to follow that corresponding row. So I will choose a different color so that you can easily guess which values we need to take for and put into the equation. So 150, the next value is 13.03, then 2.01, then minus 0.24, then 0.08, then minus 0.05, and whatever will be the value in the next column. I didn't taken for this particular problem, but you can do it. So you need to understand this path. This is very important. If you didn't understand this path, then you may choose wrong values. So this path you need to follow. Here you can easily guess the path. Now suppose before going ahead, if you if the question is like that, you need to find out the value of y when x is 110. So if x is 110, then it is very close to 100, right? So 100 will be your base value, and corresponding values that I'm highlighting here, you need to select these values and put into the equation. So this is very important part while choosing the value. So again we will come back to our this problem. We are interested in the value of y when x is 160. So we will be taking the highlighted row, that is 150, 13.03, and so on. So we'll go ahead. So these are the values. So x naught is 150. Why we took x naught as 150? You can also take it as a x1 as 150, no problem. Then y naught 13.03, del y naught 2.01, then del square y naught, del cube y naught, and del rest to 4 y naught. So these values we have taken from the previous table. Then x will be 160, in which you are interested, and h we estimated and it is 150. So by using x and h you can find out the value of p. So we know the formula, x is equal to x naught plus ph. So this can be written in terms of p. So it becomes x minus x naught upon h. X is 160, x naught is 150 divided by 50, and you will get the value of p as zero point 0.2. Now using Newton's forward interpolation formula, you need to write down the equation up to del s to 4 y naught, because the maximum value we have is up to del rest to 4 y naught. But we discussed in previous slide that we can also go up to del rest to 5 y naught. So plus you can wrote the additional terms here, no problem. So we are interested in 160. So actually here it should be not p, it should be x. So y of 160 is equal to y naught 13.03. Put all the values in this equation. So plus p is zero point 0.2, then delta y naught is 13.03, p is zero point 0.2. So put all the values in this equation, and step by step you need to calculate to get the answer. So the resultant answer is 13.46 nautical miles. So here again the important thing is that put write down the equation, put all the values, and while doing calculation don't do all the calculation in one shot. Instead of that, just pick the terms before and after plus symbol, and its calculation you can write down. Otherwise what will happen if you try to do calculation in one shot, then if you miss a single bracket or a single sign, you may get a wrong answer. So step by step you need to do the calculations, and here the answer is 13.46 nautical mile. Again, you need to verify whether your answer is correct or not. That is also essential, right? So, so here we can see that we are interested in y, which is very close for x is equal to 160. So, whatever y you will be getting, so that should be lying here only. Why? Because your x is 150 and corresponding y is 13.03, and you are interested in y where x is 160. So 160 will be here. So corresponding value of y should be between 13.03 and 15.04. If you are getting the value less than 13.03 or 15 point greater than 15.04, then your answer is wrong. So this is how you can verify whether your calculated answer is correct or not. So this is the trick to verify whether your answer is correct or not. Now again you may again, as I mentioned, if you if a question is asked that find y when x is 110, so it is between 100 and 150. So again do the same process and find out the value of y by using Newton's forward interpolation, and you can verify your answer that the answer will be between 10.63 and 13.03. Again, next important thing is that many times in a given problem, two sub questions or two, three sub questions will be there. That is, find out y when x is 110, 160, 220. So what you will do? You need to prepare only once the table, then write down the equation. This highlighted equation you can see. Again, in that equation, excluding the value of y naught and del square, that is del term, put all the values, prepare a simplified equation, and then each time put x equal to 110, you will get first solution. Put 160, you will get second solution, and again put x is equal to 220 to get third solution. Every time you need not to prepare the table again and again. So again we will see the second problem. So from the following table, estimate the number of students who obtain marks between 40 and 45. So here in this table, for marks, a single value is not given. A range is given: 30 40, 40 50, 50 60, 60 70, and 70 80. And the number of students for the given range is given. So there are 31 students who received marks between 30 and 40. Similarly, 40 students received mark between 40 and 50. So this is a little bit different problem. So how to solve this type of problem? Because in previous problem individual values were there, here range is there. So we can prepare the cumulative frequency table. So marks less than x, and here we are taking upper limit. So 30 40, the upper limit is 40, so your x naught will be 40. For second, the range is 40 50, so upper limit is 50. So 40 50 60 70 80, so we are taking the upper limit only. And again for this upper limit we need to find out corresponding number of student, that is yx. So how many students got marks less than 40? So answer is 30, you can see. Again, how many students received marks less than 50? So the answer will be 42 plus 31. Because there are, because we are looking for marks no, sorry, number of students who received marks less than 50. So 31 plus 42, answer is 73. Similarly, number of students received marks less than 60, 31 plus 42 plus 51, 124. So similarly you can prepare the complete the second row, and you will get all the values of y. Again, prepare the same table. What you need to do, I will take a highlighter here. Okay, what you need to do, in first column write down the values of x, and between two successive values you need to keep a blank row. Then in second column put the values of y. Then as I told you that complete the remaining columns by using difference strategy, that is take the difference between 73 and 31, you will get the value of first del y naught. Then take the difference between 124 and 73, you will get second value 51. Similarly, 159 minus 124, you will get 35. 190 minus 159, you will get 39. Similarly, you can complete next column. Just repeat the same process: 151 minus 42, 9, and so on. So here we can see we calculated the values for all the values of del of power n y. Here one mistake is there, it is del raised to 4 and not del 4. So this is how we complete the table. Then the next step is important. Okay, so we are interested in estimating the number of students who obtain marks between 40 and 45. So again there is a range. So here also we will go with the upper limit, that is 45, and we will try to find out the number of students with marks less than 45. Here range is there, but we are calculating the students who are uh, getting the marks, who received the marks less than 45. So therefore x will be your 45, and if you check the table, then you can easily find that the 45 is very close to 40. So your x naught will be 40 in this case. So the x and the closest value will be your x naught. Then we will find out p. The formula is x minus x naught upon h. So x is 45, x naught is 40, and h is the difference between the two successive values. So in the first row here you can see the difference between 50 and 40 is 10, and same difference is maintained everywhere. So your h will be 10. So 5 divided by 10 will be your zero point 0.5. So this is the value of p, and then use Newton's forward interpolation formula. So as there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, so you need to prepare, or you need to use number of terms according to your table. So here maximum value is del raised to 4y. So that's why in our equation the extreme value or maximum value is del raised to 4y, not, or here in this case y40. So put all the values from this table. So here the path I will show you once again, as the 45 is very close to 40, so our x naught is 40, so this will be your base value, 40 will be your base value. And what you need to do, you need to just follow this path, sorry, you need to follow this path and select corresponding values and put in this equation. So here you can see that y40 is 31, you can see here. Then del y naught is 42, you can see here. Again del square y naught, you can see the 9, and so on. So just pick the correct values from the table, put into the equation, and as I mentioned earlier, step by step solve, you will get 47.40, sorry, 47.87. So this is y45. So is it the correct answer? Yes, but for what? The number of students with marks less than 45. For this particular situation, your answer is correct. There are 47.87. So the closest value is 48. So 48 students received marks less than 45. But we are interested in the number of students who obtained marks between 40 and 45. So again you need to convert this answer. So here you can see the number of students with the mass less than 45 is 47.87, that closest integer is 48, so because the number of students cannot be in points. So but the number of students with the mass less than 40 is 31. We are interested in between the values 40 and 45, and we know that between 30 and 40 there are 31 students. So what you need to do to get the number of students getting marks between 40 and 45, the 45, this is the number of students getting marks less than 45 minus the number of students who got the marks between 30 and 40. So the answer, correct answer is 17. So this is the little bit different kind of problem. So you need to understand the type of data given according to the type of data, you need to prepare your own modified table just like this, and the remaining process is same. Prepare the table, calculate the unknown values, write the equation of required number of terms, put the values, get the solution. Again, whatever solution you are getting, modify that solution in order to get the correct answer that you can see. Okay, so that's it. This is the Newton forward interpolation formula. So if you have any question, you can ask. Okay, if you have any question, you are free to ask. So yeah, session is open for discussion.